No! Indeed, even if faced with annihilation, the decision to forsake all one knows cannot be made lightly. God damn it. Forgive me, friends, but I must beg your leave. There is another matter which yet begs for mine attention. Of course, we can accompany you if you like. Nay, that will not be necessary. If you will excuse me. Tis clear now that difficult decisions lie ahead of us. Preparation for the evacuation of Aetheris is indeed crucial, but I am not yet willing to forsake our world and its reflections, and I trust I am not alone in my reticence. Did Urianger seem strange to you? More so than usual, I mean. I know he has a penchant for keeping his own counsel, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried. Would you go and see if he's alright? Ishtola and I will remain here and see what else we can learn about the final days. If you hurry, perhaps you can catch up to him. Yep, let me check something. 308 yalms to the west. Okay, we still haven't gotten the other things unlocked for here yet. I'm also hoping against hope that the thing didn't disconnect for long enough that it makes two separate videos. But I have a feeling it will, since it sent out a whole other going live. Fucking hell. That's frustrating. I mean, I am glad that it disconnected and reconnected all on its own. Wait, I forgot to go grab the ether current. Tuning with the ether current allows you to better understand and assess the blah blah blahs. 501 yalms to the southwest. Fuck. I was hoping I could just jump through that, but nope. Nope, that would have been too easy. Where are you going, Urianger? Oh, that's right, we have to follow him secretly. He appears to be heading towards the entrance to Bestway Burrows. I remember more of how this quest goes. Urianger ventures off into Mare Lamentorum for reasons unknown. You must tread carefully, as he might sense your presence. Yup. Follow him from a safe distance. The objective will end in failure if you are noticed or if you fall too far behind. You may try again by returning. You sense nothing, Urianger. Who's there? No one. No one's there. He is like sprinting. Now he's back to walking. I knew it. I was just getting ready to go, but no. Not yet. Oh, I've lost him. Oh, we just had to get to here. Duty complete. Thou hast followed me.
Thine arrival is timely as ever.
Well, you know, I try.
Thou didst chance to overhear my conversation with Livingway, I presume?
Not intentionally. It was an accident, but yes.
'Twas not mine intent to move in shadow. Nevertheless, I have been asked to do that and more yet again. Is it so plain that these strangers could intuit it at a glance? My capacity for silence and secrecy and duplicity? And Grahatir did contrive to deliver the first at the price of his own life. I was complicit in the scheme. A sacrifice averted for a mercy. Would that I could say the same for Menphilia. One life for one world. And by that bloody bargain brokered by my hand were the scions robbed of a dear comrade, and Flamine her beloved daughter. Two souls, whose selflessness was beyond measure, whose resolve was unshakable. They would not be moved even had I thought to protest. But protest I did not. Far from it. I pushed them forward. No effort did I make to seek out alternatives, ones that would not demand such terrible costs. That resignation weigheth heavy on my mind, as does the memory of another lost to mine inaction. Dearest Moonbringer, who did face death unflinching, that we might secure a means to bring low the Ascians. In her hour of need, I did naught. Dutiful disciple of Louisoix, ever looking to the greater good. Had I shut mine eyes and bid her live instead, mayhap she would be with us today. Selfish wants born of everlasting regrets. Most days I put them from my mind, but could think of naught else when asked to swallow the same bitter draught. Subterfuge and sacrifice. Mayhap the right moral choice, but one I regard with great trepidation. The calamity of Amarot was a tragedy beyond reckoning. One which must never again come to pass.
You put so much on yourself,
Thus
Urianger.
must we struggle, haunted by ghosts of those we have lost, clinging to those we pray we can yet save. But what of those we cannot? How do we make peace with the dreadful algebra of necessity?
Sometimes there's no right answer. Have faith in yourself and your decisions. Take heart. Protect those will. Would that we had time to weigh the costs.
"'Tis a comfort to know we are of like mind in that regard. Strange. Scarcely can I remember when last we spoke alone, and so candidly. I thank thee. For all my supposed skill with words, I find it difficult to express such private thoughts. As for the Loporrit's proposition, I will take time and consider how to respond. It would be to our mutual benefit if we could converse more openly with our aspiring caretakers.
Fair enough.
A concern I should be glad to address on the Scion's behalf.
I actually thought he was
dispense with
referring
all
to
pretense
us.
and bear one's heart to another is a frightening thing indeed. But we cannot move forward ere we take that bold first step. A lesson I have learned many times before. And today.
What are they saying? Curse these ears! I've heard bugger all! No matter. We've got our plans.
Why did they have to give her a scheming face there? In truth, my reason for traveling hither was to effect a plan of my own. A plan which may pave a way forward for us all. May, I say, for there is no guarantee of success. 'Tis the reason I set out alone, that failure, should it come, would be mine alone to bear. Yet thou standest before me with proffered hand and open heart. It would be remiss of me to refuse thy amity. So I ask, wouldst thou join in mine endeavor? Yeah, I guess, bud. I thank thee for accompanying me. 'Tis a simple plan, in truth. We shall not be long away from Bestway's burrow. To make clear our resolve to the Loporrits, I would offer them a gift, but its making doth require a most singular ingredient. Okay. A loving bloom? Ah, an abundance of spongi. Excellent. I chanced to spy this aggregation when crossing Zodiac's erstwhile prison. Using a spell taught to me by the Numau, I believe these shall suffice for the gift I would fashion. The magic requireth considerable concentration, however. Might I prevail upon thee to stand watch while I perform the incantation? Yes, let me call upon my Chocobo for assistance, because this is purple, which means something's going to jump out at us. Wandering Daphne. Oh. They die quickly. More? Good lordy. There we go. Let's stand watch again. In surveying the nearby area, you see no sign of potential threats. Morrighan remains fixated on his work. There, 'tis done. A magicked ink, every ounce as efficacious as that crafted by the Nduma. Rare is the occasion I would conjure mine own, but is nevertheless a most useful skill. The resulting product is admittedly possessed of no preternatural properties, but its hue is one of mine own choosing, which I pray the Loporrits will appreciate. Morrighan! Morrighan! Oh, thank goodness! I thought you'd been eaten, or had perhaps fallen into a crater. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew. Y'shtola has been looking all over for you, Morrighan. She says she needs to speak with you about something most urgent, dire even. She was quite clear that she wishes to speak with Morrighan alone, which means I'm afraid you must stay behind, Morrighan. But worry not, it just so happens we need your help with an errand. Delivering a package from the Watcher's Palace to Bestway's Burrow. It's quite large and heavy, perhaps even too heavy for we poor Loporrits, and we would be ever so grateful if you could lend us a hand. That's convenient. Suspiciously convenient. Are you insinuating I would betray the trust of Heidelin's Chosen? Or worse, do anything to risk getting on Y'shtola's bad side? That is worse, actually. Don't get on Y'shtola's bad side. She's clearly not one to be crossed, nor made to wait. Now off with me. Sorry, now off with you. Worry not, Morrighan. I shan't be long. Pew 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 doo doo. Pew doo doo doo. Pew doo doo doo. Ba da doo doo doo. Ba da doo 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 doo. Y'shtola is in the greatest Innsvale, eh? Sounds about right. Do 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 do. Ba da do do. Ba da do do. Ba da do do. Bo do do do. Oh, it won't let me fall down there? Well, then we're teleporting to the Bestway's Burrow. Do 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 do. I still haven't unlocked the other two Ethernet current or ether current quests in this area. So I'm hopeful that after completing this quest, they will unlock it. Oh, Morrighan, we thought you would be away for far longer. A dire emergency? I said no such thing. But as you are here, I could use your assistance with one small matter. Running Way, a companion of Growing Ways, apparently has much to tell us of the final days. The problem, however, is that he's determined to live up to his name, refusing to stay still long enough for us to hold a conversation. Is there anywhere he's likely to stop and rest? Or perhaps there's a way to slow him down? What's the rush? I was thinking we should wait here, maybe enjoy a cold mug of carrot juice and... No? Oh, well, if it's really that important, we can try using these balls of moose flesh, not to be confused with the other thing. Runningway's other notable feature is his incessant chatter, so you'll have no trouble finding him in a crowd, and when you do, try lobbing your balls at him. Crude, but if it proves effective, he was here in Greatest Innsvale when last I saw him. Let us split up and find him. I mean, he's got to be over here, right? Right where it says he should be? Search your surroundings for Runningway. What happened? Oh, that wasn't him. That was a trick. But he was running. Okay. He also likes to talk, they said. Oh god, which one was it? Oh, that's smart. If this was supposed to be a joke, it isn't funny. There we go. Found him. That was a struggle. There were so many of them running, I didn't know which one was which. Yes, I'm running away. Do you mind explaining why you hit me in the face with your balls of moose flesh? I love the innuendos going on here. I'm highly knowledgeable about the final days. That's the most ridiculous thing I've heard since I woke up. Who told you that joke? As if I've got time to look into the final days when there's so much to do before the Great Voyage. It's true that Heidelin did impart us some knowledge of the event, but I know about as much as any other Loperate around here. Less, probably. I don't know why anyone would think it's funny to go around telling people I'm an expert, but they'd better hope I don't get my paws on them. Sorry I couldn't be of any more help, and if there's nothing else, I've work to do. And I'm off! Interesting. Speak with Stola. Stola, I have news. They're liars. All of them. Whatever are they doing? What could they be planning? I could find neither hide nor hair of him. I could find neither hide nor hair of him. How did you fare? Well, I found him. He's a little shit. So he knows no more than the others. Care to explain yourself, Growing Way? Well, you see, I misremembered. Yes, that's it, I misremembered. Terribly sorry about that. Afraid I'm drawing a blank, though. Try as I might, I can't remember who I was thinking of. On an unrelated note, what of Oriange? I assume you spoke with him earlier, but did he say when he'll be returning? On his way to the Watcher's Palace with Livingway. Between Growing Way's sudden lapse of memory and our lack of other leads, maybe our time would be better spent lending Oriange a hand. What? Now hold on a moment. It's all coming back to me. Yes, I remember. The information you're looking for is in the archives. Yes, that's where you'll find all sorts of useful knowledge, including that pertaining to the final days. Really? I don't believe you. At all. Oh, what to do, what to do. I promised living away I would help, but... No, I promised I'd help, so that's what I'll do. The archives are on the second floor of the main plaza, the eastern wing. Follow me. I suspect the Lawpirates are up to something. But if there is aught to be learned of the final days, I think it best we play along. For now, at least. They are up to something. Like, 100%. And there's our other 2 blue quests. Perfect. Now, where's our teleporter, too? It's on the other side. Ignore knocking way. Ow. The archives are right through this door, but it seems to be locked. I'll have to go find the key or something along those lines. Growing way, enough. If you have naught else to tell us of the final days, you need only say so. We can ill afford to be wasting time here, as you well know. Did you yourselves not tell us we must act quickly? Yes, we did, but... the moon has to be a perfect paradise for the people of Aetheris, and we're running out of time to make everything ready for their arrival. We'd hoped you'd see the wonders we have to offer, but you found nothing but faults and flaws in our work. Only one of you saw our potential, so you others must be kept here. Ah, so that's Livingway's game. Run us about in circles, and, failing that, lock us away so we can't put the plan at risk. Everyone except Oriange. He understands what is at stake, what must be done. I fear you've misjudged us. Growing way, never have we decried the notion of using the moon as a means of escape. That said, my heart breaks at the thought of abandoning Aetheris and her reflections to their doom. If there is a way to avert the final days, I wish to find it. We all do. We may fail, but our efforts would never be at the expense of your plans. But why would you take that risk? There's no room for ifs and maybes now. The people of Aetheris will escape here to the moon. They'll be safe, and we'll finally get to see all their happy, smiling faces. I'm sorry, but we can't let you leave. We just can't. Do what you must, but try not to hurt them. I'll be back in a moment. Don't do anything rash while I'm gone. If we dally, they'll overwhelm us with sheer numbers. I say we knock these ones out, split up, and make our way to the exit. Agreed. Let us reconvene where Argos waits outside. Alright, let's kick some Lawpirate ass. Oops. Oh, there's more. How many Lawpirates must I defeat? Growing Way has returned. Please come quietly. Growing way, you stand no chance. I'm sorry. We have to save them. Do I risk it? No. No, we just... It's gonna take more time to jump down there and miss, and have to re-climb up than just go around. Took a little bit, but we made it. Good, you're here. We must hurry to the Watcher's Palace and find Oriange.
And what, pray tell, do we seek at the Watcher's Palace?
Oh, come off it, friend. You know full well why we're here. The time has come for you to return to Etheris and help your brethren prepare for their journey here and beyond.
Forgive me, Living Way, but I cannot in good conscience proceed with this plan.
Huh? But what about the final days? The death and the doom? Oh, we have to hurry before it's too late.
Your unflagging commitment to your duty is endearing, to say the least.
Oh, bugger!
Be at ease. They bear you no grudge, nor do I. How could we, having come to understand your purpose? For millennia, you and yours worked tirelessly towards the singular purpose of this heavenly vessel's construction. An arduous feat by any measure. It is clear you have spared no effort. Why, your very names are a testament to your dedication.
Our names? I'm not sure I understand what you're getting at.
Names are an expression of the self, a declaration of one's hopes and aspirations. Your use of contemporary, uncomplicated nomenclature doth ensure clarity of purpose. There can be no doubt that your love for the people of Etheris is boundless and pure.
Yes! Yes! A most mellifluous phrasing! We Loperids were born of Heideland's love for Etheris. That shining, shimmering blue jewel, brightest star in the sky, brimming with life and possibilities. For as long as I can remember, I've toiled in anticipation of the day when this vessel might be needed. All I've ever wanted was to meet those she cherished so dearly, to serve and serve well. That goes for all of us, don't you see? So help us. Help Help us help them. Lead them here where we can keep them safe. If there's anything wrong with what we've built, we'll fix it. We'll make it right.
That's good that you guys are willing to do that. But you need not worry.
Your works want not for repair. Yet there remaineth much for you to learn of men, and your own kin besides. Singing Way, thy name bespeaketh more than the simple marriage of rhythm and rhyme. The songs of Etheris are beyond counting, and span the length and breadth of emotion. Maps are monuments to man's pioneering spirit and his devotion to charting the furthest reaches of our star. Many have devoted their lifetimes to exploratory pursuits, to venture unto the highest mountains and the deepest oceans in search of unknown frontiers. And thou, my friend, I do not think we've met.
My name is Pudding Way.
The second best Loporrit after Sleeping Way.
Pudding Way? Yes, indeed. A name of deep and abiding significance, I'm sure. But one perhaps better communicated through delicious deeds than tasteless words. A judicious application of fey magics at a later juncture may be appropriate. And Living Way. 'Tis no easy feat to convey the significance of thy moniker. When I was a bookish boy, a dear friend of mine was fond of peppering me with questions as I read, to my occasional annoyance. One day,
Whoops. My bad.
after much contemplation, she proffered this answer. The anticipation of a half-read story's conclusion. The hope today's mistake may serve as tomorrow's lesson. The wish that a new acquaintance may one day call thee friend. She believed it to be all these moments and more.
I want to understand, but
I, too, still labor to find mine own answer. 'Twould be my pleasure to assist you and yours in embarking on a journey of self-discovery and enlightenment. For thee. Ink as blue as the waters of Etheris. Made in haste, though I assure thee, the quality has not suffered for it. The people need not be persuaded by honeyed words. Nay, I have faith they shall do what is right in due course. Until they do, I beg your patience, friends. And with that ink, let us fill the empty pages of Living Way's compendium.
Ooh.
An open exchange of ideas will surely afford you all a better understanding of modern man, and with it, ideas for improvements and renovations. But more importantly, it shall empower us to together find a way forward.
I hope you're right. Thank you for this lovely gift.
There you have it. I shall remain with the Loporrits to ensure that all is in order. Though we must needs prepare for every eventuality, you would all agree that the evacuation of our star is a last resort. To accept failure is to accept the demise not only of our star, but that of Reen's, of all reflections, and the souls that call them home. Which is why I have every faith that you shall fight to the last, that such drastic measures may prove unnecessary.
Should the worst come to the worst, and I pray deeply that it won't, I'll take comfort in knowing preparations were made under your watchful eye.
Aye, thou mayest be assured that if calamity cometh, not a soul will be left behind. If being the operative term.
Because it's not going to come to them. That flower. How came it into your possession? Well, Eidolon more or less gave it to me. How very like her. Guided by its light, you may come to know her true intentions. Intentions which remain a mystery even to us. In our time, we called it Elpis. You would do well to remember the name.
I hate to interrupt, but I feel like I need to make amends for all the secrecy.
Good. You do.
Think nothing of it. We haven't been the most gracious of guests. Do convey our apologies to Growingway and the others.
But of course! And when next we welcome more guests from Atheris, we'll have learned to be much more hospitable hosts. Oh, and circling back to the matter of inappropriate secrecy, we ought to discuss our benefactors.
Agreed. The Charlean Forum, yes?
How did you know?
What? How did you know?
The more I heard, the more obvious it became. The Forum's aims align closely with those of your anonymous patrons. A telling coincidence would be an understatement. Though had we not taken it upon ourselves to peruse certain restricted tones in Labyrinthos, we might still be unaware of their plans. But let us continue this discussion upon our return. I dare say we have kept Alphino and the others waiting long enough.
This is true. 'Twas a relief to see Livingway was pleased with my gift of ink. To serve and serve well, though their knowledge may be lacking, their boundless love is a blessing without peer. It will be no easy task to prepare them for what must needs be done, but gladly do I embrace this duty, even if it doth necessitate that we part ways for a time. Forgive me my absence, but I have the utmost faith in you, in all our fellow scions. When next I return to Atheris, I pray I find you all in good health and good spirits. With the Loporits in Urianger's capable hands, we needn't worry about affairs here in our absence. Knowing now the face of their earthly collaborators, there is much to discuss with Alphino and the others. Let us return to the Tower of Babel. Our battle for the star will soon begin in earnest, and we must be prepared. Alright. This is going to be the last quest, and then we're going to end stream. And probably for YouTube, this is going to be uploaded into 2 parts, because I do believe it did reset. And that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. They'll be uploaded same day, but it'll be Endwalker Part 3.1 and Endwalker Part 3.2. Gods, I can scarcely believe we went to the moon and back. But we'll have time to reflect on that later. Right now we need to head back to Camp Broken Glass and deliver a thoroughly detailed report to Lucia. I'd like very much to know how everyone is getting on here as well. They'd only just begun to treat the tempered prisoners when we left. I share your curiosity, but warning our allies of the final days is of greater importance. I speak not only of the contingent, of course. The heads of state of every nation must know what we have learned. We know not when or where or in what manner the final days will begin to manifest, and so we must see that everyone is prepared. Agreed, though we may wish to stress the importance of discretion, lest the public be sent into a panic. Not that anyone in a position of responsibility should need to be told as much, but it bears repeating. Anyway, first things first, to Camp Broken Glass. Yes, to Camp Broken Glass. This way. Unfortunately, we can't fly here yet, because I still haven't completed the blue quests. It's good to see you all again. No worse for your lunar adventure, I hope. We've done what we can for now, and believe me, we intend to tell you all about it. But before we do, might you tell us what's become of Garlemald in our absence? We succeeded in subduing the tempered inside the Tower of Babel. We took many alive, but combined with those who were already in our custody, the number requiring care has grown exponentially. The inclement conditions here have made it difficult, if not impossible, to treat them all here, and so we have petitioned the aid of the allied nations. Some are, understandably, hesitant to proffer assistance, particularly those that were but recently subject to imperial occupation. That said, several others have agreed to grant them refuge for treatment. With the assistance of your fellow scions, we endeavor to see them safely transported and subsequently cured of their tempering. Will all the tempered be relocated? Not all, no. We have sufficient shelter to attend to those whose treatment has begun, and enough healers have volunteered to remain until their patients have recovered. Eulis is one such patient, though he is not yet fit to receive visitors. Truth be told, it was a miracle he and those in his company were not harmed in the chaos. If not for Alfino and Alice's timely assistance, I dare say none of them would be with us today. In light of recent developments, have the Alliance leaders come to any decisions regarding Garlemald? Given the tremendous ramifications of what has happened here, it will take time to determine what must be done. In the meantime, they intend to work with the Eastern Alliance to keep a close watch over the provinces. We have other news to share. Shortly after Anima was defeated, we received reports that each and every tower has vanished. For a mercy, the process was apparently not quite as violent as that you experienced in Thavnair. Those who were trapped within them have been rescued and are receiving treatment. To hasten this endeavor, the beast tribes have received instructions in the magics needed to cure tempering. Master Matoya is no doubt thrilled the Mother Porksy affords her so many visitors. Yes, we are grateful for her ongoing efforts, as well as those of our comrades near and far. As for the contingent, several of our members have been granted leave to return to their homelands, after the transfer of Tempered has been completed. Lucia and I will remain here, along with a small force to continue offering aid to those here in Garlemald. The Empire may be no more, but there are yet those who call these lands home. I believe that accounts for recent events here, so what of the Moon and the Telophoroi? Well, we killed Zodiark, and I might have inadvertently caused the final days, so that's a thing. The final days. Gods, I prayed your victory would mark the end of our troubles. There is still much we do not know, but the Alliance leaders must be told. Would you be willing to contact them in our stead? Yes, of course, I will send word forthwith. We'll also release your fellow scions from their present duties, that they may return to Sharlayan. Your energies are better spent finding a means to avert the coming apocalypse. Speaking of your fellow scions, you will be happy to hear that Mistress Kryl, though still on the mend, has been moved to the Baldessian Annex and given into Tataru's care. Thank you. I look forward to seeing them both upon our return. Let us be on our way then. One last thing, if I may. After your confrontation with Zodiac, you said Xenos took his leave, and in all likelihood he has returned here to Garlemald. I have a mind to dispatch scouts to try and ascertain his whereabouts, but first wish to ask if you believe there is merit in doing so. If they found him, they would likely not live to tell the tale. If you're expecting a trail of destruction to follow, you won't find one. If you're expecting a trail of destruction to follow, you won't. Aye, you are the only foe he considers worthy. And even if my men found him, who but you could even hope to bring low that monster? Pray forget I entertained the notion. While on the subject of Xenos, the 10th Legion has made an official proclamation. They denounce the Crown Prince and condemn his role in the Empire's downfall. His very title has become a source of shame among his former subjects, and its continued use serves only to hinder relations with foreign nations. For this reason, he has been declared as Xenos Viator Galvus, outcast and enemy of Garlemald. Clan Daniel is no more, and now his own people turn against him. It seems he's not but his bloodlust to keep him company. Better that than an army to see it sated. At any rate, I will not keep you longer. I pray you safe passage back to Charlian. Don't worry, buddy. We can just teleport. We got this. We're golden. Return. Welcome back, Morrighan. We were so terribly worried about you. Though it is plain I have caused my own fair share of worry, and for that I apologize. Heidelin called me that day when you entered the Tower of Babel. Her pleas were faint but desperate, and I knew at once she required a vessel to carry out her will. What came after feels like a dream barely remembered, my body flowing through the life stream toward Garlemald. When I regained consciousness, I was all aches and frostbite, exhausted of ether. So exhausted, in fact, I could only laugh. For it was in that moment I understood Raha's weariness from the Tower of Zot. Would that I could laugh at a time like this. Though we prevented Zodiac from being unleashed upon the world, I am curious to know what else took place there on the moon. We met tiny rabbits. Perhaps we should wait for the others to join us before you give your account. Let us reconvene in the main hall once they've arrived. Yep. And then after this, we go talk to Ojika, and then we get a midnight visitor. Sorry to have kept you all waiting. Not at all. We understand you've been quite busy. Will Urianger be joining us? No, actually, he stayed on the moon. Duty keeps him away, I'm afraid, though Morrighan can explain why better than I. There's little people on the moon, little operates, little tiny rabbits, little versions of me. And they are preparing the moon for all of us to go there. Speaking, actually, with the Charlian Forum, and they expect us to fail and to send everyone there. The final days, as befell Amarat. And we are to escape via the moon. What of the source and its reflections? I've no intention of standing by while the world falls to ruin. So how do we stop this? Unfortunately, we have no answers at present. If the celestial currents have grown stagnant, as was the case in the time of Amarat, the solution would be to alter the flow of ether throughout the entirety of the star. The ancients accomplished this by summoning Zodiac, sacrificing half the star's population in doing. But it should go without saying that such a sacrifice must not, cannot be repeated. which leaves us with the daunting task of identifying the underlying catalyst for the final days, a feat which even the Armoritines could not accomplish. Unfortunately, we found no clues in Mare Lamentorum. There is still much we do not know about the catastrophe itself, let alone what may have caused it. The final days were marked by the corruption of the Amoritine's creation magics, but we command no such power. Which invites the question, what havoc is in store for us? If we knew that much, perhaps we could draw some parallel with the events of the past, and thereby form some semblance of a plan. Perhaps we could start with the Forum then. Having worked with the Loperites in secret all this time, there is surely more they can tell us. Forgive the interruption, but I've urgent news. The Forum is holding a public assembly in the plaza outside. Some sort of announcement. What is Father up to now? There's only one way to find out. Yes, let's go. I feel like this one's going to be voiced.
Order! Order, I say! I thank you all for gathering here on such short notice. This day we must speak of grave affairs and their implications for the future of Sharlayan, nay, of this very star. Said affairs concern all citizens, and so we have called for a public assembly. You may have heard rumors of the Telophoroi, and the havoc these madmen wreak abroad. Under normal circumstances, we would pay little heed to petty disturbances outside our borders. The final days, however, are another matter altogether. For we dare not ignore these prophetic words of Eld. The Endbearers will come, ushering chaos and calamity. The final days descend and devour the very star.
I've never heard this prophecy.
Is it true? Will all that really happen?
Calm yourselves. The time has come to speak of the Forum's most sacred duties. But first...
Give voice to the voiceless. Let bindings be unbound. By unanimous decree, I declare the enchantment broken.
Dun dun dun! So they can all speak freely on it.
Master Leveilleur, if you would.
Very well. "270 years ago, our forebears began an expedition in the Dravanian hinterlands, in search of a route to access the ethereal sea. This much is public knowledge. Their findings, however, would become the Forum's most closely guarded secret. What those researchers discovered in the hinterlands was not a passage unto the ethereal sea, but the very heart of our star. And Hydaelyn herself. She spoke to them of a calamity that would extinguish all life, and of a means by which we might be spared. The moon. 'Tis in truth a gargantuan vessel, much like Nunkref's hope in ages past. It will bear the people of a world in the throes of death to a new home.
Okay.
Needless to say, this will be no small undertaking. To facilitate the great work, the Forum has maintained close contact with the servants of Hydaelyn, who presently reside on the moon.
The Loporrits, the tiny rabbits.
Convinced that the foretold end was all but inevitable, we began amassing a wealth of knowledge. Not merely for the betterment of our nation, but in preparation for the journey to come.
You reveal this to us now? By the gods, how long do we have?
While we cannot say with certainty, we believe the hour to be nigh. We received a transmission from the moon suggesting as much not long ago. Which is why we must in earnest begin preparations for the great exodus. For his impressive contributions, and the leadership he demonstrated during our withdrawal from Dravania, we have elected Master Leveilleur to oversee this initiative.
Fellow scribes and scholars, my countrymen, we face a threat of unprecedented scale. We must challenge the trials before us with composure and conviction if we are to find salvation. The wisdom of Sharlayan has ever been a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it shall continue to be. It is our solemn charge to see our heritage preserved for future generations. For those who will come after, we will brave a new frontier.
What say you?
Administrative edicts will be relayed to all major institutions ere long. In the meantime, carry on with your duties. With that, I hereby call this assembly to a close.
Do you remember what Mother told us when we visited home? That it wasn't until after we were born that Father seemed to lose himself in his work. If that great work of his was the evacuation of this star, then...
Yes. It wasn't for his benefit.
But ours.
Would you mind waiting here a moment? I wish to speak with Father before we leave.
Take your time. Order when you're ready.
Thank you. I shan't be long.
If it's all the same to you, I have a few choice words to share with Father as well.
So, come to call us cowards and bid us join your fruitless battle against the inevitable.
Nay, we do not object to the Forum's proposal. On the contrary, those who wish to flee have every right to do so. Urianger is cooperating with your associates on the moon to ensure that all is ready should evacuation be our only recourse.
Then whatever your business, I suggest you be brief.
Though we cannot boast the boundless wisdom of Sharlayan, we have first-hand knowledge of foreign cultures. and have conversed with no small number of peoples. These experiences have taught us fundamental truths that cannot be recorded in any tome, nor charted on any map. The beating heart of this planet is its people, many of whom would give anything, even their lives, to protect the lands they love. Many may choose to join you in the end. But what of those unwilling or unable, for whom escape will never be an option? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, Father. It is indolence.
Holy shit.
This is why we choose to fight.
We'll not ask for your understanding, Father. Only that you don't turn a blind eye to the good we have done, that we can still do. We're not children in need of protection. Hold fast to your principles and let the world burn if it please. But we believe there is still another way. And if there is, we will find it. You see if we don't.
Smile.
Do as you will. Just stay out of our way.
God damn it. Every time you have an opportunity to, like, get a little bit of redemption, you just refuse.
Were he not so consumed with self-righteousness, he might tell you how proud he is of you both.
Exactly! And he could!
Bold words call for bold action. And there'll be no turning to your father should plans go awry.
As if I ever would. So long as there are those who wish to stay and fight for this star, we have to do what we can to help them.
And if we're to do that, we'll need to be well rested. Wouldn't you agree? And having triumphed over what we once thought to be the source of all evil, I can think of no one in greater need of at least a dozen winks.
Shall we then? To the Annex, to prepare for tomorrow.
Alright. Let's bring the webcam back. Sprint this way. File tells me the Forum made a rather momentous announcement, so there's to be a great exodus, is there? I'm reminded of my narrow escape from the Isle of Val, the realization, the running, the mixture of relief and regret after. Why me? I asked myself. Why me? Why us? Why now? Why wonder? There's no use fretting over the cosmic morality or lack thereof. We're here, and we'll get through this together. And who knows, maybe my luck will rub off and grant everyone a narrow escape. There's no harm in praying for as much. No, but enough of my rambling. I'm sure you're exhausted. Your chamber awaits. Retire? Yes. And here we get to pick who's visiting us, which I think will be Alize. And it's gonna be voiced, so... Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. There it is. A visitor has come knocking at your door. Whoever could it be? Alize.
craving a midnight snack, were you? I did consider bringing a few sweets, but decided this wasn't an appropriate occasion.
Fair.
I couldn't sleep. Had a few things on my mind. I know it's late, so I'll try not to talk your ear off.
Hey, what's up, little
It's
one?
Xenos. I keep thinking back to Garlemald when he'd taken control of your body. An altogether terrifying experience, to say the least. And one that served as a harsh reminder. No one, no matter how strong or quick or clever, is invincible. Not even you.
Yeah, but I tried.
And as much as it might seem at times that you are, one misstep, one mistake, and that's that. Which is why, even though I know you've heard it 1,000 times before, I'm going to tell you to take better care of yourself. Because you really, really should. It goes without saying that we're all committed to this fight. But that doesn't mean that we need to throw our lives away. You know how I feel about noble sacrifices.
True, you beat the shit out of Raha for it. For wanting to.
Right, that's settled. We'll be keeping the acts of gratuitous bravado to a minimum. When I looked Father in the eye and swore we'd find a way to avert this tragedy, it wasn't a promise just for him. It was a promise for you, too.
That's nice of her. It's very nice of her. And with that, where is it? Oh, wait. Short while earlier in the Alamegan Quarter. That's right, we have these types of cutscenes too. There were the Red Mage.
Thank the gods that tower is gone. The sight of it was enough to make me sick.
Thank the Ilsebar contingent, more like. Word is, they fought their way into Garlemald and toppled the bloody thing themselves. Not just the one, neither. All the towers have up and vanished.
Yeah.
Aye, I heard the same. Commander Aldin and his troops helped keep casualties to a minimum, too. But is it true? They brought back tempered Garlean soldiers.
As Commander Aldin tells it, they've a treatment for that now. But don't you worry. Cured or not, they've no plans to bring them into the city proper.
I see. Well, that's a relief then. I know we've brothers and sisters among the lot, but I can't say I'm eager to welcome them home.
Wanted to think about it for a while yet. They're to be looked after in Alagana for the time being.
Poor Euless. If that even was Euless. I don't remember if that one was or not. Meanwhile, in Ishgard. Oh boy. But I mean, of course, they have to start showing us the signs of the final days. Evanville. Hey, there's Sidurgu!
Another day, another commission of paramount importance. Well, what have we here? Hey, are you all right? Was that? No. The shadows play tricks, nothing more. The towers are gone, and the Garlean threat has abated. And yet, why does it feel as though it's about to get much, much worse?
Because it is. It's about to get very bad. And it starts in that. Bum bum ba. Thank you all so much for watching. I know that stream was a lot longer than usual. We just passed the 7-hour mark, but thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, this one's gonna probably be up on YouTube in 2 parts because there was a little hiccup in the middle of the stream, but they'll both go up on the same day. So take care of yourselves.